My contention is that I think this is impossible. Like, I don't think you can solve these definitions. I have seen inside a lot of different infrastructures now, and sort of particularly online infrastructures. So the thing I can definitely say is, I think the level of complexity, particularly these days, is quite a lot higher than it was in the past. There's a huge variety of different architectures and services, login and authentication. You might have payment integrations. You might have systems for serving content, other secondary services, and often these are broken up regionally. Sometimes they function different regionally, which is a little bit terrifying. And then you have kind of a variety of different cloud services, platform services, and hosting frameworks kind of across all of that.
When a product is at the end of its life cycle, which of those that we would put in the sort of necessary bucket versus the unnecessary bucket? Like, if we were to draw a line, because, I'm sure if we provided those as a list to some gamers, they would tick some off and go like, okay, don't need that, don't need that, don't need that.
The issue is not so much always the individual services, it's the dependencies between everything. And to be honest, this is the kind of answer that is really frustrating for players. So this isn't to say there are no cases where anyone could possibly do any of this. It's to say that trying to create a broad rubric in a regulatory framework that encompasses all of the different possible permutations of these architectures is basically impossible as a starting point. One of the main discussions I've had, particularly with people who support the campaign, is what does indefinitely mean? So there's a lot of discussion of, games could work indefinitely were it not for practices that X, Y, and Z. Then there's also, what does operable mean? In the EU Citizens Initiative, it says reasonably functional. Ross Scott has said a working game which may only need 2% of game logic. In their technical video, they said you should keep multiplayer functionality working at end of life. So to me, it feels like that is not defined. We have not defined what operable means. So many games are built on tech stacks that are kind of piles of existing stuff, and they may not be able to retroactively change the license.
When it comes to like the middleware solutions, even if they were completely wanted to just hand off a build, like a server build, to a community member and say, go for it, they might not have the rights to distribute some of the middleware that's involved in that.
Yes, but I would say I'm equally critical of the industry response to the campaign so far. Yep. I think it is really, really important that everyone recognizes this is a critical thing. This isn't going to go away. Like it's not something that, anyone can hand wave away. So let's try to not create a situation where we're just kind of having a go at each other from opposite sides of the fence on this, and let's try and find solutions that actually deliver the things that we all want to have.